Hall of Famer Ernie Banks once declared that it was a great day for a ball game. Let's play 2. Well, I say it's always a great day for dessert. Why not eat 4? Just make sure you save enough for tomorrow's judges. As for today, I'm bringing the group in to personally wish them luck, and I've got a little surprise. Welcome back. And congratulations! After what no doubt has been a very stressful week for you, as of tomorrow, your desserts will be available to the general public, and I know our judges are eager to taste and try and tally up who's gonna be the 2025 Top Cookie Champion. Yes. Woo! How do we feel, guys? Excited? Relieved? The sale of Girl Scout cookies started over 100 years ago as a simple troop fundraiser, and today has grown into one of the oldest and best programs helping young girls experience new opportunities to help them grow into confident women. And by your participation in Top Cookie, you have personally helped maintain that tradition. And there are a few people here that would like to thank you for that.
When you were little, did you actually see yourself as a baker?
Absolutely not. No, when I was little, I definitely had many, many dreams, but bacon was not one of them. But through time, I enjoyed how much I loved cooking and baking and everything else. But yeah, I evolved to actually enjoy it and love it very, very much. And my favorite thing about bacon is watching people's reactions when they take their first bite of anything you make.
The answer is definitely not. I definitely did not see myself becoming a professional baker or anything professional in the food business. My mom did get us a bakery book on how to bake when we were kids, and I thought I was professional because I can make these little peanut butter cookies that were only 2 ingredients with the fork, and that was the extent of it as a kid. But by the time I was 13 or 14, I was always trying to convince my dad to buy some sort of a business involving food. I just knew it was the route that I wanted to go. And then now as an adult, kind of going back to what everyone else says, is there is no greater satisfaction than watching the pleasure on someone's face, knowing that you provided them with that product or that recipe, and having them come back in and tell you how great it was and their family loved it. That's the ultimate goal in this food business. So,
what's the hardest thing you've ever baked?
The hardest thing I've ever baked was definitely the first time I was on the Top Cookie competition. I can't ever do better than that. So it was, what did I do? I made an oatmeal cookie spoon, and I had the semi-Fredo on top of the spoon, so the people the spoon had to be thick enough so that it would hold the semi-Fredo, and I was just like anticipating every moment that they took it off the plate and put it in their mouth, that it wasn't just gonna break. So that was it was just difficult. It was time consuming, but it worked. I think I only saw like 4 or 5 fall.
The hardest thing I've ever baked was a wedding cake.
Wedding cake.
Wow.
How big was the cake?
It was about 4 tiers.
4 tiers of wedding cake. Huh. What was the hardest part about making a wedding cake?
Stacking them, but decorating them.
Are you confident now as a result of doing that hard task of making a wedding cake?
Every time it got easier and easier.
It got easier and easier because she practiced doing it, right? So you practice doing the thing that you fear the most,
Right.
You actually get better at it.
That's
It's
absolutely
a good
true.
lesson right there. I like that lesson.
What's your favorite cookie?
My favorite cookie is definitely Caramel Delight. Because all through my house, through all times we got the Girl Scout cookies, never lasted more than a full day. I used to hide it underneath my bed or in closets, anywhere possible, to make sure all my siblings do not get any of the Caramel Delights.
growing up was always the Thin Mint. And then I did like the trefoil. Is that how you say it?
Sure.
That's the Italian version of the.
The trefoil. But since I enjoyed the shortbread cookie, I did switch up my favorites. And then after this year, I was introduced to the lemonade. And luckily, it's our cookie. It is actually one of the most delicious cookies I think the Girl Scout cookies make. And very underrated.
My favorite Girl Scout cookie is absolutely classic. I have to agree with you. Growing up, the Thin Mint was our favorite cookie in our house. We would fight over it the same way that Lance did in his house with the Caramel Delights. It was a hot commodity.
What's your least favorite Girl Scout cookie?
I hate to answer it this way, knowing that this is the cookie that my company won with 2 years ago, but pretty much anything that includes peanut butter is really not my jam.
Here it is. Yeah, the one that I got, which is why it was super cool taking these cookies apart, because I like them a little bit better.
Franken cookie.
Yeah. That's what's cool about getting to dissect the cookie that you hate, because it kind of makes you like it in the end.
I don't think I have a Girl Scout cookie that I don't like, to be fair. I got this big by eating cookies, and I've tried every single one of them, and I like every one of them. There's not one that you could put in front of me that I wouldn't eat and finish.
Mike, you're not alone.
I appreciate that.
Right there with you.
What did you learn about yourselves throughout this competition?
For me, I have never been involved in a competition like this. So what I've learned about myself is that competition definitely stokes my creativity. It definitely gets those juices flowing where you're like, okay, what can I do to help bring something new to the table? How can I excite my team over my ideas? And so that's definitely what I've learned about myself.
I have learned that I cannot do any of this by myself. Without my crew and my team behind me, developing the recipes and working together to develop this dessert, there's no way it could have come together. And ultimately, that's what the competition was all about, was us working with our teams and then bringing the best possible product to the stage.
I think that being in front of the camera is definitely something that I am not very comfortable with. And fighting my fears of that has been very challenging for me. So I think if I had to give anyone any advice, it would be like, try to relax, which I'm not doing very well at, but just never give up.
Hard work really truly does pay off, and you learn not just from baking, also a lot about yourself and what you can and can't do. And nothing's impossible, I would say. Like I said, I never pictured myself being a baker, but here I am.
I think I kind of answered this question before with the breaking down of the cookies, and I think no matter how long you've been in the business, there's always just room for more creativity. It just never stops if you love it and if you're passionate about it.